Sit down.
We're coming at you. And with pregame routines. Thanks, GA. And what's scary is Porzingis is only going to get better. That kind of fearlessness will help him in the long run. For a young player, Clark, it's adjusting to the speed of the NBA and the length of the schedule. So how do you power through that rookie wall? How do you survive that?
Well, there's no magic formula, Kevin. You just have to stay the course because it comes in different times for different players. For me, it was after about 60 games. I was a starter playing 34, 35 minutes a game. So it was a combination of fatigue and just getting used to 2.5 times more games than I had ever played in my career. So you fight through it, stay with your habits, stay with your preparation, and eventually you find your legs.
And checking out Minnesota's opening lineup. Wiggins at small forward with Gibson at the 4. Teague runs the point with Butler at his side. They're the backcourt. And it's Towns in at the 5. And so it's the Knicks getting on the board first. Fires the 3. Porzingis with the rebound. Outside Thomas, and it's going to be out of bounds. The Knicks will retain possession. To the paint. Thomas sets a screen for Cantor. The wide open look here for Porzingis. Drills it from outside. Porzingis has got himself on the board with 3 there.
I don't think we'll ever see another 7'3" player who can drain the 3 like Porzingis. He takes the idea of that inside-outside threat to a whole nother level.
Shots good by Gibson.
How about the purpose with which he's crashing the backboards right now? Some hard-earned second chance points.
Timberwolves on defense. It's a 3-point game. This game coming on the heels of their win against the Kings.
And you know what? It's a fine line between attacking but yet staying under control. And they did, and that's why they shot such a high percentage.
Yeah, they pushed the pace, and typically you get high-quality shots when you do that. I thought they were terrific all game, Greg.
I love the complementary aspect of this group now. You know, you've got the young talent, but you've brought in some veteran leadership here for the Timberwolves. The duo of Wiggins and Karl Anthony Towns kind of gave the confidence to them to go out and acquire a superstar in his prime like Jimmy Butler.
And you know, it's amazing when you look back at the Andrew Wiggins, Kevin Love trade. Safe to say now that I think both teams really got what they wanted out of it.
And Greg, the core of this Timberwolves team is Wiggins and Towns. And, you know, rarely do you get to see 2 #1 overall picks team up early in their careers.
And how about back-to-back years, no less. But I consider Jimmy Butler kind of a foundational piece as well. He's in the conversation for the best shooting guard in our league.
Timberwolves have gone just 1 of 4 to get this game started. Gibson with the screen on Thomas. There's the pick. Here's Butler. It's not going to go for him. Now the Knicks take it the other way.
And they're 1 of 5 to start this game. Just really haven't gotten into a flow offensively.
And the rejection by Towns. And he could not get that one to go. Out of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. That's on Enes Kanter.
Textbook up fake there. Towns does a great job imitating his usual shot motion. Earns himself a trip to the line.
Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for the Knicks.
You know, you watch Karl Anthony Towns, and he just epitomizes the future of the NBA big man. Extremely versatile, gets it done inside and outside at both ends of the floor, and has a fluidity to his game that belies his size.
The Timberwolves trail. And Gibson, here we go. And good. Got the friendly bounce off the right side of the rim.
And, you know, that's Butler's bread and butter now. I mean, a superb mid-range shooter. The defense has to be better.
And with Towns and him being the future of the NBA big men, the numbers he's put up at a young age are staggering. Clark just looks like a guard out there sometimes.
Well, there's a good reason for that, Kevin. You know, Towns actually played guard before a big growth spurt. I think that clearly helped with his skills, and that's why he's so comfortable creating. It's a perfect situation for a guy like him to revolutionize what a low block player can do.
Well executed, and then you love the strong finish.
Fantastic speed on the break. Speed kills, showing no mercy in transition there, partner.
Now, here's Thomas. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him.
Can't get more open than that. No idea how he mistimed that mid-range shot. Maybe he was too open.
And his presence as a scorer, it just has a calming effect for the rest of the team. He's a fallback option whenever they need one.
And the Knicks decide to take their first time out here. Well, Clark, you've been in the booth for so long, but I have to ask, have you ever toyed with the idea of coaching or working in some team's front office? I know you did briefly for the Pacers.
Yeah, I did, and I enjoyed it. I was working in player relations, player development with our guys off the court, and loved it. But it just wasn't something I could sustain at this season in my life. Not interested in coaching. I've never really been, because my career path went towards broadcasting right after I got done playing, and I've paid my dues and have grown in this profession. And I would want to do the same thing in coaching, and I just don't have enough time in front of me to do that. So I'm happy to be around the game in this capacity. Coaching never lets up. I get an off season as a broadcaster.
Yes. Here's Jones following the score by New York. And Zhang kicks to Muhammad. Launches a three. And the rebound goes to the Knicks.
And I thought that was going to drop. It looked good from here.
And out of bounds as the Timberwolves gain possession. And looking back at last season, here's a look at the 3-point and 2-point shot attempt averages for the Knicks.
And they really based almost their entire offense around the three-point shot. Spread the floor, space the defense, and if the deep shots aren't falling, at least it should open things up inside.
Now here's Jones. Inside. Towns down low. Oh, Quinn defending, and the layup's good off the glass.
And, you know, you see Towns able to overpower the defender there. He's really tough once he gets it that close to the rim.
Beasley the screen. They set the pick. There's the dish to O'Quinn. No good. Towns with the defensive effort. Now the Timberwolves with it. They're on a 14-5 run.
Man, it's close, but, you know, didn't get on balance quick enough.
Yeah, and as quick as players are at this level, in this day and age, I mean, you've got to be perfect in your anticipation to draw the charge.
The screen from Brown. Jones kicks to Brown. Pass to Towns. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot two.
Showing determination inside. Towns absorbs the contact and gets the whistle.
On the night, he's gone 2 for 2 at the stripe.
He's been doing really nice work at the line. 83%.
Guys, I like that this is a part of his game that has really been consistent this year.
And that's the norm for him. He's pretty much automatic when he's at the line.
And so it's Minnesota with their lead standing at 6 points here at the end of the quarter. They've been playing some inspired defense, giving up very few easy points. Back right after this. And a guy who seems to improve every season.
It's crazy because I never thought that.
And hard to doubt the dedication of Jimmy Butler. He's found a way to overcome obstacles at each important point along the way.
You know, he's a self-made player. And if Butler can stay healthy, boy, the sky's the limit.
Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. And what do you guys think about Minnesota here in this one?
I think they play great D and not giving up anything easy early on.
Exactly. I mean, they've made their presence felt on this end. Excellent job contesting shots so far.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. And so in the game for the Timberwolves, down low, it's Zhang and Towns. Crawford out there with Jones, and it's Muhammad in at the 3. Here's Beasley. Tyus Jones picking up that last basket. Now McDermott. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one, and the foul called on Jamal Crawford. That's his first foul, and New York making a change here. Cantor's checked in. Kicks it to McDermott. Cantor sets the pick for McDermott. Just 5 to shoot. Over Muhammad. Here's Cantor. Fouled in the act of shooting. A three-point play chance coming up.
And you just hate to give up those second chance points.
Yeah, those are back crushers. I mean, they really crack your back when you give teams second shots like that.
One thing that Tom Thibodeau can be dependent on as a coach is giving his star players a lot of minutes. In fact, in Chicago, Clarkson criticized him for doing that. Others praised him for it. But the fact of the matter is, if you're a team leader, he expects you to be on the floor a lot and produce a lot.
Yeah, and you know, that's part of the job. Hey, when you get right down to it, if you're one of the best players, you've got to show up and do your job all the time. And you look at players who've played under Thibodeau. I mean, he's had the league leader in average minutes 3 times in his career as a coach. Said himself that he expects his guys to get used to what star players do, which includes a lot of minutes.
Jang dishes to Muhammad. And out of bounds as the Knicks gain possession.
And let's see the stat sheet here on Enes Kanter. This last month, he has been a real positive for this team. 6th in free throw percentage. And he's an elite glass eater, a factor inside among the top 10 in rebounds per game.
And yeah, he's a true professional at the free throw line. It's a part of the game where he excels. You want him at the line for you in crunch time. Here's Ntilikina. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. The shot's good from Cantor. Cantor's got the game tied up here for New York. Teague, the pass to Jang. And Muhammad kicks to Gibson. Jang with the screen for Gibson. Three-pointer, Butler. And that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. Butler's got his second basket of the night.
That's simply a high IQ basketball play. Butler really clever in how to get that shot off the screen.
Oh, just solid on the one-handed slam.
And guys, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball.
Somebody you can count on. He is an extremely reliable finisher.
The Knicks have gone 5 of 7 from the field here in the second. Defended by Butler. Here's Porzingis, and he gets that one to go off the front iron. Porzingis has got 10.
Those defenders just look a little bit gassed. I mean, they're getting pushed around on that low block.
And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. And the foul goes against New York.
And guys, I think Jimmy Butler has all the tools you could want in a two-way player. He's an excellent defender, and he also can score the ball from just about anywhere.
Jamal Crawford, he's checked in for Muhammad.
And coming out of the offseason where the Knicks had a really long to-do list, you knew they were going to shake things up and made some moves in free agency and realized they needed to build around Porzingis going forward.
He gets a chance now to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Karl Anthony Towns was voted by GMs last season as the player they most want to build a franchise around. He is not resting on his laurels. He said, I work hard on my game. I want to be the strongest player, the most intelligent player, and the most skilled player on the court at all times. Kevin?
Thanks, David. That work ethic will definitely help Towns get better. He's already a dynamite player. And change was needed badly for the Knicks, and they did that starting with the front office.
Yeah, Knicks fans can have a dire outlook at times, but the team still has a solid foundation. It will take some time for the team to become a true contender again, but having players not be at odds with the front office, definitely a good start.
Now here's Porzingis. He had 13 points in the win against the Nets in Brooklyn. Outside Thomas. And the dunk by Porzingis.
Man, I like how close Porzingis gets to the rim. I mean, he knows when he's this deep, the defense really has no chance to keep him from dunking it.
Teague against Jack. Teague dishes to Gibson. Stolen by Thomas. And a fast break now for the Knicks. Porzingis can't hit.
And, you know, the defense was probably in the C-plus range there. I mean, I'm sure he feels like that's one he should have made, that layup. Well, I think the defense got really lucky there. I mean, you can't afford to give up wide open shots from deep.
inside Jack. And the pass to Porzingis. There's a screen by Cantor. Jumper off the screen. And Porzingis again. Porzingis has got the lead up to 5 now for New York.
Well, I like the first quarter he had. And I'm loving the second quarter even more. Playing with a lot of momentum right now.
Now here's Jang. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. The Timberwolves again can't hit.
And we haven't seen them get to the line as much here in the second quarter. They might be settling a tad too much offensively.
I think you're right. An up fake here or there, getting the ball inside. That's how you create high percentage offense.
And a pretty tightly contested game here. All right, David, thank you. And stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime to get...
It's the 2K Sports Halftime
Welcome back,
Show.
everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson. This big mountain of a man, there was no stopping Kristaps Porzingis in the first half. He had 16 points and 4 rebounds. After a subpar performance in their previous contest, he has come on strong tonight. His first half, sensational. That's it for halftime.
Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the... And Clark, when you were growing up, was there one player in pro basketball you tried to emulate or model your game after?
I really didn't pattern my game after any particular player. I tried to piece and parcel from a lot of players. I love the gracefulness of Lou Alcindor, now known as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, when I first saw him back in the late 60s. At his size and the way he could move and his touch was impressive. And then as I became more of a forward in high school, you looked at guys like Magic Johnson, and I looked at Marcus Johnson out at UCLA. Dr. J was a versatile forward as well. George McGinnis, who ended up becoming a really good friend of mine as I got drafted by the Pacers. Those guys that were big and mobile and had ball skills and shooting skills and rebounded, those were guys that I tried to play like.
Jarrett Jack is out there with Lee, and there's Porzingis, then there's Lance Thomas, and it's Cantor in at the pivot spot manning the middle. They're the group for Jeff Hornacek starting the second half. They get it back, laid in with a nice touch off the glass, and it's an 8-point New York lead.
No doubt about the consistency when it comes to scoring the basketball for him tonight. A real nice lift for their offense.
Towns, the pass to Teague, outside Butler. And that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. Teague's got 4 assists now tonight.
And Butler knows he's got the green light to shoot whenever he wants to, especially when it's a catch and shoot situation.
This is to Cantor. Courtney Lee is on the wing, defended by Butler. And it's Cantor again. Cantor's got 10 points.
Again and again, they're dissecting the defense and creating those high percentage looks from inside.
And even under pressure in close, I think they've still done a good job maintaining concentration and converting the opportunities.
The Knicks have gone 1 of 3 at the line here. First free throw is good.
Well, the problem last year for the Timberwolves was their defense. Allowed way too many points in the paint. Fortunately, they've improved their defense down the stretch here.
Catching up on the changes for New York. Beasley's checked in for Porzingis. McDermott comes in for Lance Thomas. And it's Ntilikina in for Lee. Muhammad, he's checked in for the Timberwolves. Tyus Jones comes in for Jeff Teague. New York leading by 7. Another issue with the Wolves and their defense was that they weren't a great rebounding team outside, of course, Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah, and you know what? There weren't a lot of big issues with the Wolves defense, but the small issues added up and cumulatively were a problem. I think they've got to continue to build on becoming a solid defensive team. Looking at the Timberwolves, let's see where they rank in the NBA statistics right now.
And that ranking in the steals category, airtight perimeter defense, is one of the things that makes this team go. Their aggressiveness, for me, sets them apart. And in last season, the Knicks raised expectations with some of those big free agent signings and trades in the prior year. And let's face it, things just didn't work out quite how they had planned. Some would say they underachieved. Hard pill to swallow for a fan base that went into the year with so much hope.
And a big big problem for the Knicks and their shortcomings last season was their defense.
Yeah, and listen, they have some shot blocking, but as a whole, the defense lacked teeth. More than anything else, it played a part in the disappointment of last season's campaign, and it's something they'll be focusing on in the coming year.
Here's Ntilikina. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. There's a screen by Cantor. Covered by Wiggins. Shot clock at 6. And the miss, not the best shot selection there. Timberwolves trail by 6. Back to Jones. He feeds it to Towns. Buries it from about 10 feet away. Towns has got 8 points.
Nice play inside. The refined footwork really separates Towns from most other young bigs.
Here's Ntilikina, currently averaging almost 6 points a game. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Cantor. Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for Michael Beasley. And a change for the Timberwolves. Zhang's checked in. And Muhammad kicks to Jones. Second half here. We're just over 3.5 minutes into it. Towns tries again. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. And a chance here to take a look at the shooting chart for Porzingis.
And this is what happens when you are having a tremendous offensive game. They are getting great looks and knocking down shots all over the floor. I don't think we're going to see them deviate from this approach from here on out. They've got the recipe for success.
Pick by O'Quinn. Pass to Ntilikina. Puts it up from 12, and the Knicks miss again. The Timberwolves have gotten 4 of their first 5 second-half shots to fall, 80% since the break.
And looking at Towns and what he can do on the floor already at his age is impressive. This is a guy who's going to be a 20 and 10 player perhaps for the rest of his career. And as young as he is, I tell you, the sky is the limit.
Yeah, out of the pick and roll, Zhang's size and athleticism makes him an excellent target.
And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Well, guys, analytics has taken over the NBA, but Minnesota coach and president of basketball operations Tom Thibodeau says it doesn't tell you everything. He said analytics can measure a lot of things, but it's very difficult to measure drive. The magic is in the work. Kevin?
And Tom Thibodeau makes a good point, D.A. Analytics is certainly helpful, but it doesn't capture everything.
Yeah, they're going to have a nice little run here.
New York calls timeout. This, their first chance to take a look at Minnesota this season.
And one of the few bright spots of their last season was sweeping the season series in this matchup.
Yeah, for sure. Neither team a big-time contender in their respective conferences, Greg, but when the teams are fairly evenly matched, it can still be entertaining basketball.
Looking at who's out there now for the Timberwolves. Crawford comes in for Shabazz Muhammad, and it's Teagan for Tyus Jones. Clock at 6. Here's O'Quinn on the money from 12 feet away. O'Quinn's got his first 2 points of the night.
And just a step ahead of the D in that possession there, making the pass. Nice assist.
That's in there. Thomas with the assist. And now a 5-point New York lead.
That's the kind of aggressive and assertive play they need as we get closer and closer to crunch time.
3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Pass to Ntilikina. And he goes up strong with one hand and flushes it down.
And, you know, the length of Ntilikina, man, takes long strides when he's driving inside to get past the defense. Fantastic stuff.
Crawford kicks to Towns. Over O'Quinn, it'll go, and the New York lead is cut to just 5 on the basket from Karl Anthony Towns.
And that's what he does. I mean, he is a bucket getter.
Well, it's been an exciting game. Plenty of offense as we head to the fourth quarter. New York ahead, up by 5. Don't go anywhere. The final quarter is coming up next on 2K Sports. And now we take a listen into the recent huddle from Tom Thibodeau.
And all we're doing is thinking about our offense.
welcome you back to what's been a hard-fought battle. Fourth quarter should be good. Timberwolves trail by 5. And a look at the 5 for the Timberwolves to start the fourth. Teague runs the point with Butler at his side. They're the backcourt. Andrew Wiggins is out there with Towns, and it's Crawford at the 3 spot. New York's gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory. Jack against Teague. And fouled on the shot, so the bucket counts and a chance for one more here.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Clearly just an example of a different mindset between these teams.
And the Timberwolves making a change here. Gibson's checked in. T kicks to Butler. And they double up Butler. It's stolen by Jack. And now in transition is Jack. Here we go. And the rejection by Towns.
Great timing on the block there. Towns helps affect winning in a lot of different ways.
And that field goal percentage climbing now above 50%. They look like a different team here in the second half.
Lee left side. Trying to find Jack. He's got it now. Another shot. Jeff Teague with the rebound.
And, you know, even though they're up, he's been off his game this quarter, having trouble finding the basket.
Here's Gibson. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Wow, they've made every free throw here in the second half.
And that efficiency, Greg, as you know, so critical when you're looking to overcome a deficit. You've got to be close to perfect and can't waste scoring opportunities.
Ennis Cantor's checked in for Kyle O'Quinn. And Jack kicks to Lee. Jack with a screen on Butler. Butler against Lee. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
And looking at the career of Courtney Lee, you know, has hopped around from team to team a bunch of times and always a valued teammate, but just hadn't stayed on one team for very long.
T kicks to Wiggins. Over Thomas. Moves back up and blocked. That one goes careening off the glass. Lee outside. New York, no good that time either. And with Lee, you know exactly what you're going to get with his defense and shooting.
And Lee is always going to be a wanted commodity. His ability to defend and shoot aren't easy to find, and you just hope he's able to kind of settle into a long-term situation.
And the foul on Andrew Wiggins. That'll be his second foul of the game. And so here is New York. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. Screen by Porzingis. Cantor dishes to Thomas. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in. And the Knicks lead by 8.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Dime-dropping delights is what I call it.
Yeah, it's a nice pass. I will give you that one.
Yep, he was on the money, that's no doubt. A little over 2.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth quarter. Wiggins against Thomas. Porzingis with the rebound. Porzingis has got 6 rebounds in the game. Out to the wing. Cantor kicks to Porzingis. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. That one is on Towns.
And, you know, Porzingis plays with such fearlessness. I love that about him. And he's also a big guy with some agility and endless range. This guy has in the gym range, if anybody has that.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
And that one's good by Butler.
They found the touch from the field here in the second half. It was a struggle in that first.
Thomas a screen. To the middle. Gibson with the steal. Teague left side. He dishes it to Gibson. Butler kicks to Towns. Gibson the screen. They set the pick. Lays it in without an inch of room around him. Gibson's got 6 points in the quarter.
And really, at this stage of the game, to get those kinds of offensive rebounds for putbacks, you almost feel like it's a 4-point swing.
Yeah, you really do, because those extra possessions, when they lead to points, that's huge. I mean, he did a nice job there. Never gave up on the play. And you know my motto, persistence pays dividends.
Butler, no good.
Boy, the defense was great. Superb, stellar, platinum level. Can't really contest that shot any better than that.
Thomas passes to Jack. Thomas dishes to Cantor, and Gibson sends it back.
And Gibson just out here to play hard defense, showing great awareness coming up there with that block.
Ntilikina, he's checked in for the Knicks. Butler kicks to Towns. Porzingis with the block, and that's out of bounds. Minnesota will retain possession. Here's Teague on the wing. Wiggins lets it go with a three, and the rebound goes to the Knicks. Porzingis has got his 7th rebound here tonight. Thomas with the ball, now defended by Wiggins, and it goes out of bounds. That one off Gibson. And it's the Knicks with the ball. They've given up just 8 points in the 4th quarter.
Man, good to see Ntilikina square up from deep. Has the size and touch needed to knock home these threes.
And the Timberwolves call time here. They're down by 8. 124 left in the 4th quarter. And now the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Kristaps Porzingis.
He's put on a shooting exhibition for us here tonight. He's missed a couple along the way, but it sure seems like everything's been falling for him. The only way to keep him from converting is to keep the ball out of his hands.
He sure has given this crowd a treat tonight. This kind of performance only cements his status as a fan favorite. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin, well, let's summarize what Tom Thibodeau went over with his guys during the break. And he tried to pep them up. He said, look, nobody said this was going to be a cakewalk. We knew they weren't going to back down or go away. So if we want this game, we got to take it from them. A lot of fire from Coach during that speech, Kevin.
Cantor with a screen on Towns. Porzingis passes to Thomas. No good from outside. Minnesota's gotten off to an 0-for-2 start from downtown here in the 4th quarter. Wiggins kicks to Teague. On deep. And Cantor pulls it down.
I think these are the shots he's got to avoid taking. I mean, already struggling. He's not helping his team right now looking at those shots.
And now they are probably too far ahead. It's going to be nearly impossible to get back in this one.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, Greg. I mean, they're in a groove right now, up big, hard. Envision them losing this lead.
2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. The shot's good from Ntilikina.
And leaving nothing to chance here on this game-clinching run.
Exactly. Cold-blooded. Separation solidified. Great effort. Nice pass that time. What excellent vision by Jeff Teague out there.
And so it's New York with it. They've led by as much as 10. And here's Beasley. So it's the Timberwolves now. So it's New York picking up the win. It was up for grabs right until the final seconds.
Yeah, and for me, Kevin, what stood out is just the overall trust this group has in one another when it matters most. Doing what had to be done and to send these fans home happy.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. KP, you guys got out on a break tonight. How did you get into transition so easily?
Yeah, we want to play faster, and that's what we try to do whenever they miss. We try to run, move the ball quick, and get easy buckets.
And you were able to beat them down the floor tonight, KP. Thanks a lot.